Boudin, crackling, rice, duck, and all this beautiful crawfish. If there's one place you can find the best food and incredible hospitality, it's here in Cajun country, Southwest Louisiana. I'm Sara Moulton, and my mouth started watering the second I landed in Bayou country to go on a great culinary adventure. If you want to meet the natives, they don't get any more local than Randy Thibodeaux, a third-generation farmer who follows the custom of flooding his rice fields for a second winter crop of crawfish. I'll join him to harvest some of these tasty critters and learn a little about the spectacular biodiversity of these lands. We'll take a culinary tour of the region and taste the signature Cajun delicacies, the oh-so-addictive fried pork cracklin, and the local favorite, Boudin sausages. Everyone has their favorite kind. Then 2 Louisiana-inspired weeknight meals, my sautéed duck breast with Creole sauce, and Randy's authentic Crawfish Etouffe from an old family recipe. It's so easy and delicious, served over rice grown right here. And did I mention, hearty enough to feed a crowd, and boy, do we have a big one. Join me to party the night away, Cajun style. Welcome to Sara's Weeknight Meals. Funding provided by
Subaru builds vehicles like the versatile Subaru Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive and plenty of cargo room. A recipe made for whatever the day brings. Subaru, a proud sponsor of Sara's Weeknight Meals.
Family owned and Indiana grown, Maple Leaf Farms is a proud sponsor of Sara's Weeknight Meals. Providing a variety of duck products for home kitchens, Maple Leaf Farms Duck helps inspire culinary adventures everywhere. Maple Leaf Farms.
And thanks to the generous support of Food defines the lifestyle here in Southwest Louisiana, where seafood is abundant and everyone has a secret spice or a treasured family recipe. Here's a look at food influencers, new and old, who define Cajun country and make it a very special place.
We move a little bit slower here. It's more about the atmosphere and the good time in a different way. What we do here means a lot to us, so we put a lot of passion into it. Well, a cracklin is one of our prized snacks here.
There's a little bit of heaven in every piece of cracklin, I think.
For the last 2 years, we've been #1 in cracklins in this area. We're very proud of that, and that's part of our family tradition. We start off with our cracklins. We get boxes of belly. We slice it, dice it up, we trim it out to where it's uniform size. We'll light the pots up, we'll put a little bit of startup grease, dump them in, and then we cook them till they're done. Everybody makes their own boudin around here, but everybody makes it different. It's pork meat and pork liver. We cook it down with onions and Cajun spices. We cook our rice separate, and then we mix the two together through a grinder, and then we shoot it into casing.
I think only we would stuff a double-cut Berkshire pork chop with boudin. What we do differently with our barbecue shrimp, we actually reduce the beer and wine, garlic, the Worcestershire, the cayenne, and we whip it all into the butter. We brine this double-cut pork chop overnight. You know, cane syrup, fresh cayenne pepper, garlic. We stuff it with our own house-made boudin.
I like the idea of a hot dog because it's got a nostalgic background to it that reminds me of childhood. It's a good time food. We like to do anything that we can think of, specials-based menu, creative options, like putting etouffee on hot dogs, anything that can take the idea of the once common hot dog and bring it over the top. We get together and we have fun by making food here.
The Darrow's special is known throughout the city. It's got a little bit of everything. It's got your roast beef, your ham, turkey, jalapeno mayo, tomatoes, and it's gotta be sloppy, which is great. And if anybody comes to Lake Charles, be sure to stop by and get one. So what we're kind of excited about is, we know we have the Louisiana flavor here, but at the same rate, new chefs coming to town, highly trained chefs coming into town by way of the casinos, some folks even coming here to open up restaurants. It's kind of like, what's next?
We have history and culture and passion tied into everything that we do. We keep it simple in Southwest Louisiana, we have simple ingredients, and we have flavor profiles that are off the charts.
Next up, my take on a delicious Louisiana-inspired weeknight meal, Duck Creole. of the many hats I wear is to write a column for the Associated Press called The Healthy Plate. And it occurred to me one day that duck breast, which is actually pretty lean and healthy, would be terrific with Creole spices. Now, if you think that duck is gamey, you haven't tried Pekin duck breasts, also known as Long Island duck breast. They're not gamey at all. And any sauce you put on a steak, you could put on duck. Takes the same amount of time to cook. So let's start with the Creole spice mix. I need to get that ready first. So here's what I put in my mix. 1 tablespoon plus 1 teaspoon hot paprika, 1 tablespoon garlic powder, 1.5 teaspoons each of onion powder, cayenne, oregano, and thyme, and finally 1 teaspoon each of ground black pepper and kosher salt. So now I'm going to mix all of these up. They'll all go in one bowl. Isn't that pretty? Cooking is so beautiful. You need to stir it up. And I'm just going to use a little bit for the sauce, but the rest you can keep in the cupboard in a jar. This keeps very well, and you can use it for all sorts of things. All right, I'm going to go down and start my sauce. In a medium saucepan, heat 1 tablespoon of vegetable oil. Add 2 ounces finely chopped andouille sausage and cook, stirring until the sausage is browned, about 5 minutes. Transfer the sausage with a slotted spoon to a bowl. Add 1/2 cup finely chopped onion, 1/3 cup finely chopped celery, along with 1/2 cup green bell pepper to the saucepan. Cook, stirring occasionally, until it is golden, about 6 to 8 minutes. Add 1 to 1.5 teaspoons of the Creole spice mix, or more if you want a very spicy sauce, and 1 teaspoon minced garlic. Cook, stirring for 1 minute. Add 1 cup low-sodium chicken broth and 1 cup chopped or crushed canned tomatoes. Add the chopped andouille sausage. Bring the mixture to a boil and simmer until much of the liquid has reduced, about 20 minutes. So I'm going to let this sauce simmer while I work on the duck. Take a very sharp knife and score the skin in a crisscross pattern. And the point of this is then the skin will render more fat out and become more crispy. If you're pressed for time, you can sprinkle the Creole spices on right before you cook the duck, but I like to sprinkle it on ahead of time and give it a little time so that the flavors really get in there. In a large cold skillet, place the duck breasts skin side down. Turn the heat to medium-low and cook the duck breasts until the skin looks very crispy, about 12 minutes. When you're cooking them, don't pour off this liquid fat, because that liquid helps to pour out more fat from the skin. I think they're done on the skin side. Let me just take a look. Oh yeah, that's gorgeous. Okay, so now I'm going to transfer these skin side up to a clean plate and dump off all but 1 tablespoon of the fat. And by the way, that other fat that you save, you can use for sautéing vegetables or potatoes. I'll just leave a little in the pan. And then the duck goes back in, meat side down. It only takes a few more minutes to crisp the second side. Return the duck to the skillet, skin side up, and cook for another 3 to 5 minutes for medium rare. Transfer the duck breasts to a clean plate, skin side up. Cover them loosely with foil and let them rest for 10 minutes before slicing. All right, let me take a look at my duck. See, it gives off all that delicious juice. Don't waste that. That needs to be added to the sauce. I'm just going to put it right in. That way we marry the duck to the sauce. And let me take one of these guys. I'm going to slice it. I slice it skin side down. I find it easier to slice that way. Ah, yeah. You can cook duck medium rare. It does not have the same issues as chicken does with salmonella. Oh, doesn't that look wonderful? So juicy. And actually, if we remove the skin, duck is leaner than white meat chicken and turkey. Okay, so here goes our, let me stir in those juices. Put some of our sauce on the bottom of the plate. And then I'm going to just fan our duck on top. This is a very substantial portion, a very nice portion. This would make even my husband happy. Ooh, there we go. Wow, isn't that amazing? That is my Creole spiced duck breast. Perfect for a weeknight meal.
Life is slow and easy in southwest Louisiana, and here in Crowley, the rice fields of summer are flooded for a second crop of crawfish, the hugely popular local delicacy. Randy Thibodeaux is a third-generation farmer who took me on a crawfishing trip on his family farm. They were among the original Cajun settlers.
Been here since the mid-1700s, and the reason why they came here because they were expelled or exiles from Nova Scotia because they didn't.
Expelled?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they didn't adhere to the rules of the Queen of England.
Ah.
So most of the French descendants around here all came from Nova Scotia.
Nova Scotia. So they all spoke French when they came here?
They all spoke French when they came here.
You're a real Cajun.
And it takes Cajun ingenuity to catch crawfish. Locals use homemade flat-bottom boats with giant gears that literally push us across Randy's 10,000 acres.
We do rice, soybeans, and crawfish, and everything is rotated every year. You know, we harvested the rice in July and August, and now we're crawfishing it.
How did you come up with the idea of rotating these crops?
Basically, the crawfish was native to this area, and when we would drain our rice fields, we'd actually see them coming out of the rice field. We would try to catch what we could, but you just captured enough to have a party, you know. So, but then eventually we found a way to.
Oh, geez, let's make this into a regular crop. Yeah, let's encourage them.
Okay, this is our actual crawfish trap, we actually put a bait in here, and the crawfish come through these flutes and they get trapped in there, and then they'll stay. They can't get out that way. So
what kind of bait do you use?
We're using pogie today. So put this fish in there, and we actually put it back in the water and let it set for a day or so, and it'll attract the crawfish.
Now, how do you get the crawfish in here to begin with? I mean,
actually, you take some small stock and you put them along the levees.
So then they procreate.
Yeah, when we drain the fields, and they bury it down, and then when we reflood in October, that's when they come back up.
And what do they eat?
They actually can eat the microorganisms off the rice stalk.
4 to 5 months later, between January and April, the crawfish are large enough to harvest.
Wow, look at those guys. So they're all different sizes.
Yeah.
So what are you looking for in a crawfish?
This is what we're actually looking for, this size crawfish right here. You know, you're actually looking for the size of the tail, because the fat is real good in these tender crawfish. When the pinchers start getting big, they don't have quite as much fat.
And how many do you end up harvesting total?
We like to get up to about 700 pounds to the acre.
The crawfish have another purpose, along with native ducks and geese: natural land conservation.
The wildlife and the crawfish actually help us clean up these fields to start for a cleaner crop for the following year.
Of rice?
Of rice.
They eat the weeds?
They eat the weeds.
All right, so we're going to actually cook these guys up, right?
That's right. Make an étouffée this afternoon.
All right, let's head back.
We're off to make a hearty meal of crawfish étouffée, featuring Randy's family recipe. That's coming up next.
And now that we just finished getting out of the water, I'm sure you're kind of hungry like me. And before we go start cooking the crawfish, we need to get something in our stomach, because it's hard to cook when you have an empty stomach.
So we got to eat before we go and eat some more.
That's right.
Okay, I like the way you think. So what do we got here?
So we got boudin, which is it's a seasoned linker. It's made of rice and pork meat that's seasoned, and it's put in a casing.
I think there's liver in here.
They might have a little bit.
Get a little bit of liver taste.
There's no two boudins the same. Every place you buy boudin has a different recipe, and it's really pretty good.
And what makes it different and unique is the spices,
yeah,
right?
Spices. You know, some people put more meat, some people put more rice. Some people use a little bit of liver, some people don't.
All right, tell me about the cracklings.
The cracklings is pork fat with a little bit of piece of meat on it, but it's cooked down and fried, and then they add a lot of seasoning on it, which is real good. You know,
So this is deep fried fat we're eating here.
they cook it in a big black iron pot. They throw this fat in, and they cook it down to its crisp.
That's really, really good.
And they have a lot of different versions of cracklings too.
Now I think it's time to go get.
Yeah, now
Cooking.
we
Now
now
what
we gotta
do
go cook the crawfish.
Oh wow. Okay, well I'm gonna have another piece, and let's head on over there.
Okay.
And now Randy's gonna show me how to make a classic Cajun dish called.
Crawfish Etouffe.
Of course. All right, but we got to start with the rice.
That's right.
We're gonna make rice in a rice
Cook
cooker.
it. That's right.
Wow. Well, you know I'm rice impaired, so I think this is what I need to get. And how many cups are we making here?
We should make at least 5.
1 cup of raw rice equals 3 cups of cooked rice. We're making 15 cups of rice,
That's right.
and this is local
Yeah,
rice.
Yeah, that's right. It's actually grown on my farm.
This is your rice. Doesn't get much more local
Yeah,
than that. Okay, and this is 5 cups. All right, now, how much water? This is where I always get flummoxed. How much water?
When you get it this deep over the rice.
Okay, does that work the same for me? I'm going to say that's an inch. Okay, you're there we go. Is that good? Perfect. And that's your impeccably clean finger.
Yeah,
We
yeah.
boiled that, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Okay, good. Okay, so now what happens? You have to, this is electronics, so you're
Yeah.
gonna have to show me you program this. You put the lid on.
It's not snapped.
Oh, you have snapped it. Okay, I'm gonna move this down. You're gonna set that up.
Okay, now it's on.
All right, so how long does this take?
At least 15 minutes cooking, then it takes 5 to 10 minutes just letting it sit there.
So while that's doing its thing, we're gonna get the vegetables going, right?
Yes.
Okay. You got a big old pot there.
Yeah.
That's cast iron,
Yeah,
no?
it's cast iron.
All right, so we said just a little bit of butter
Yeah,
we start with,
that's
2
exactly
sticks. Salted or unsalted?
Either way, it don't
You don't
matter.
care?
No.
Okay, a little bit of butter goes in. And now you like cast iron because it's even temperature?
Even temperature, and then it just your food tastes better.
Your food tastes better. Okay then, all righty, I like that. So we've got 3 large onions chopped there.
That's right.
Okay, and then this is about
Half
3/4 of a cup. I measured.
Okay.
You don't measure. I had to measure
I don't
so
know.
people could make this. 3/4 of a
Yeah.
cup of finely diced green pepper, and then we have 1 cup of sliced celery.
Celery.
Yeah, finely sliced. Okay, good. And now these 3 items, three vegetables are used a lot in Cajun
Oh,
cooking.
we use it in everything. We call it the Holy Trinity.
Really?
Yes.
So this is sort of like in French cooking, they have mirepoix, which is celery, onions,
that's
carrots. But you ditch the carrots for the pepper.
That's right.
Okay, and this is roughly the proportions you
Yeah,
like them in.
that's-
So a lot of onions. So here we go. Boy, nothing better than the smell of butter.
That's right. And onions.
You use a lot of butter in Cajun cooking, don't you?
Yes, we sure do. It's
No, it's your French heritage.
Yes.
So we're going to cook these covered.
Yeah.
Go ahead, do your thing. From what I understand, when you cook that way, all the flavor stays in there.
That's
Yeah.
right.
How long do we cook these?
Probably about 15 minutes.
Okay, so now you're going to show me how to peel crawfish.
We washed them first. We got the water boiling and boiled them for 3 minutes.
Okay, I have to translate for people who don't speak Cajun. Boiled them. For other people, we boiled them.
Okay.
We boiled them. We boiled them. Okay.
Well,
And then what happens?
Then you want to peel it, so you push it in a little bit and you twist it,
You push it in. Oh, that's a good trick.
and then
I should try that. Oops. No, I already lost some. I'm
that's
fired.
all right.
Oh no, I got it.
You got it.
Okay.
Then you pull it out like this, and then you take out the vein.
Oh, okay. It's like shrimp.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we make the étouffée, and that's actually a really important question. What is an étouffée?
Étouffée is a smothered seafood dish, and this is considered seafood.
So it's smothered because it's cooked low and slow.
Low and slow.
With mostly the lid on.
That's
okay,
right.
Okay, good.
Okay, well now we're gonna check the pot. Okay, I think we're ready to go.
And how do you know?
They all clear. They're getting clear, you see?
It's getting translucent, yeah.
And you don't want it to start darkening.
No color.
See, yeah.
Okay, what can I pass here?
Okay, we need the crawfish.
Crawfish comes?
Yeah.
Okay. Here we go. Oh boy. And what we got there is about 3 pounds.
3 pounds.
Of tails.
Tails. We need to add some seasoning.
Okay. So we've got some local seasoning here,
Yeah,
right?
well, there's local blended seasonings.
How
There's-
much? I'll let you do it.
I
I'm
don't- I don't-
watching you.
I don't usually
I'm
measure.
watching you. I know this goes against your nature.
Yeah.
You just throw it in there. That looked like a heaping tablespoon to me. Oh, that's another tablespoon. All right, this is gonna be spicy. So
No.
what's in there? So there's salt and
Black pepper and red pepper.
maybe garlic powder a little
Yeah.
bit or something. And then we also have some fresh garlic too, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Might have to add a little water.
Do we do that now or later?
I would add a little bit right now.
Okay. All right, here we go. You say when?
That's good.
Okay. So we just let this
Yeah,
cook nice
yeah,
and slow.
Yeah.
For what?
15, 20 minutes.
Okay. All right, great. Now I know we have to get a few garnishes together, right?
Yeah, yes, onion tops.
You call these onion? I call these scallions.
Well,
Onion tops. Okay. Well, you got your own way of doing
Yeah,
things.
they do.
Okay. Speaking of your own way of doing things here in Cajun country, tell me more about Cajun cooking. Like, what are your other dishes?
we love to cook sauce pecans, gumbos, shrimp Creole, catfish couvillon, all these different types of dishes.
And now, what's the difference between Cajun and Creole?
The Creoles use a lot of tomatoes in the different dishes, and we very seldom use tomatoes.
Oh, okay.
And tomatoes and basil and thyme and stuff like that. We kind of leave that out.
Stay away from that
yeah,
stuff.
Yeah.
Okay. Very interesting.
But-
So what else makes a Cajun besides the food?
they're born that way. I guess it's our lifestyle too. We don't live a fancy lifestyle, but we live a good lifestyle.
You don't live a fancy but a good. Okay,
Yeah.
so how do you define
And-
a good
and-
lifestyle? I'm interested.
Everything is surrounded by food. I mean,
I
every
applaud that
time
decision.
we entertain ourselves, food is involved. You go to the football game, you got to have food. You go to a wedding, you have food. You go to a funeral, you're gonna have food after the funeral.
All right, so we got a bunch of parsley chopped, and we need a little thickening, right?
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so we're gonna use cornstarch.
Cornstarch.
The reason we're doing this is because his lovely wife is gluten intolerant. So for those of you out there who are, this is a good way to go. So we need what? Two of these guys, 2 tablespoons,
Yeah.
and then just some water.
Yeah, just some water.
And we're just setting this up. We won't add this till later.
Yes,
Okay.
that's right.
And a little bit of water. You say when.
Let's try to stir that up and see what it looks
will.
like. That's
Okay.
it. That's good.
Here, I'll let you do that.
It's gonna be good. Okay, it's starting to check it, so I think it's all good. We put this cornstarch mixture. So we got that done. So Sarah, now you can hand me the onion tops and parsley.
Okay.
And I'm gonna stir that up a little bit. We got the seasoning right.
So you think the rice is ready?
Oh yeah, the rice is definitely ready because it was steaming a while ago, so. I get that.
We just need a little taste right now because we're gonna have our guests coming soon.
Yeah, yes. Okay.
Oh, look at how perfect that is. I understand sometimes you make this and serve it on a steak for your son.
Yeah, for special occasions.
That does seem a little over the top to me. That's definitely surf and turf. Here's your spoon.
Yeah. Okay.
It's hot, but it's so delicious. I love the seasoning.
Thank you. Okay, now that we got everything ready, we're gonna get ready for our guests.
I think so.
All right.
You know, if there's one thing they know here in Southwest Louisiana, it's how to eat and how to party. I'm Sara Moulton here with Randy Thibodeaux and all of his delightful friends. I'll see you next time for some more of Sara's Weeknight Meals. Okay.
All right.
Sara's Weeknight Meals continues online. For recipes, helpful tips, messages, and lots more, visit us on the web at saramoulton.com/weeknight meals. And go to our YouTube channel, Sara's Weeknight Meals TV. Funding provided by
Subaru builds vehicles like the versatile Subaru Forester with symmetrical all-wheel drive and plenty of cargo room. A recipe made for whatever the day brings. Subaru, a proud sponsor of Sara's Weeknight Meals.
Family owned and Indiana grown, Maple Leaf Farms is a proud sponsor of Sara's Weeknight Meals. Providing a variety of duck products for home kitchens, Maple Leaf Farms Duck helps inspire culinary adventures everywhere. Maple Leaf Farms.
And thanks to the generous support of